everybody who helps that we can do this competition at this weekend. To all the helpers, to all the staff members, thank you very much. Die wir sehen hier bei diesem Wettbewerb. 2 Box der Damen. Mit dabei auch 3 deutsche Teams. Laura Nolte zusammen mit Roy Levi. Außerdem dabei das Team Kim Kalicki mit Annabelle Gallanda. Und Lisa Buchwitz auch dabei mit Lauren Sievers. weiter Strecke. Da muss man fahrerisch sehr gut ausgebildet sein. So, dann Aufruf jetzt für das Team Alexander Tschulay, den U23 Weltmeister des letzten Jahres. Please prepare.
Der Contest, hört ihr die Musiker ein?
Ich sage mal, das ist ein Highlight, wo man sich konzentrieren kann.
Ich weiß nicht, wo die Delle her ist.
Auf eine Welle.
Du Arschloch! Ja,
Ja, alles
Einfach wie in der Diskothek dazwischen murmeln.
7th race weekend of the BMW IBSF Bobsleigh and Skeleton World Cup, and it is a beautiful spring morning in Altenberg. I know it's the middle of February, but the weather doesn't seem to have realised that. Crowds out in force to watch the action today, the final day of sliding here, and we start with our women's bobsleigh competition. 11 sleds in the field, and among them 3 Germans. We expect them to go well. Sitting alongside me again, delighted to have Australia's Sarah Blizzard. Sarah, tell us about this track. Where are we going to see them make the mistakes? Where are we going to see them find the speed?
Yes, definitely a driver's track here in Altenberg. It starts with a really long, flat start, and we go into corner 1, which is pretty chill for the first half. We have, after corner 1, there is a long straight where you kind of want to avoid any skidding. Really small corner 2, again, want to avoid any skidding before heading into corner 3 and corner 4, where the driving really starts. If we can avoid any taps through here, it really helps. You can lose a lot of speed through there. Corner 5, 6, 7 and 8, you're kind of snaking through them a little bit, trying to avoid any taps and building up your speed. And then we head into corner 9, where people start having a few problems. We saw some problems in Monobob yesterday as well. And then the long straight into Kreisel. Kreisel is a 3-pressure, 360-degree corner. We do see a bit of problems on the exit, but then we head into 11, 12, long straight again into 13 and 14. And if you can get clean through the straights here, you're going to also be building up a lot of speed before 15. High pressure 16, and then at the end of 16 we have little corner 17 across the finish.
Track record set by the most successful driver in the women's game on this track, Kaylee Humphries. 7 wins on this track, Kaylee. Good morning. If she's watching, then she's really getting no sleep out on the West Coast. Lauren Alter is our current World Cup points leader. Kim Kalicki, Lisa Buchwitz rounding out the top 3 in standings ahead of Melanie Hassler and Lana Myers-Taylor. And on that list, 4 different winners on this track. Lisa Buchwitz, Kim Kalicki have won. In fact, actually, Lauren Alter has not won on this track, and Lana Myers-Taylor has. So, of the German sliders, Nolter has won European Championship gold, but she didn't win the race here last year. So, Lara, good day yesterday in the Monobob, her first win of the season. She was absolutely ecstatic with that. And Lisa Buchwitz getting onto the podium as well. That seemed like a personal victory for her. But she was the winner here in the first of the 2 races last season with Kira Lipperheider. She'll go today with Lauren Siebert. Alana Myers-Taylor, well, she won here back in 2015 with Sherelle Garrett. Looking at that result and thinking, well, there's a name I haven't said for a little while. On our start draw today, first off will be the Belgians, Kelly van Petegem and Dora de Hasselaar, and then the Olympic champions reunited, Lauren Alter and Deborah Levy. Deborah in a sled for the first time in a race since winning Olympic gold. So she spent more than a season away with injury and is finally back here just in time for the Worlds. First up, 7th race, the BMW IBSF Women's Bobsleigh World Cup. It is Kelly van Petegem and Dora de Hasselaar from Belgium. Kelly raced in a monobob yesterday. Dora, her first World Cup race was in St. Moritz. This is her 2nd ever World Cup start.
All right, so 6:03 getaway. It'll be interesting to see what all the other girls are pushing in the race today. I definitely think an early start number is going to make a difference, but the track should hopefully be a little bit faster than yesterday. Yeah, track should be faster. There was a little bit of frost on the windscreen overnight, so temperatures were lower overnight, and that will help. A little bit of sun is not a bad thing. It helps speed the ice up more than an overcast day. Out to corner 9, down the straight, looking pretty true there. Through this big 360-degree corkscrew corner, the Kreisel. She's setting the pace for everybody to follow. Nice and clean down the bottom so far. Up out of 14 over the outrun, and then you corkscrew back down under corner 14 there, and across the finish line, a 57.61.
So that's 1.5 seconds off the all-time track record.
Dora seems very happy with that one.
Yeah.
Her dad is here watching as well, so shout out to him.
Maybe for the first time this week in a women's sled, Kelly's saying, you might want to put the brakes on. Because it's been so slow, they've barely made it up before now.
Yeah, they were pushing the monobobs up yesterday, so I'm sure they're very happy they can just pull the brakes and stop.
One of the key exits out of corner 9, because this long straight that follows, you can bounce from wall to wall. That was clean. And then in the Kreisel, holding that medium line.
Yep, you can see she was kind of flat in the beginning, and then she's let it go a little bit and get the waves. You kind of want to have a mix between driving, but then also not driving too much.
Out of corner 14, uphill. Very easy to go into a big long skid there. She does. I'm sure that felt better probably than it did in training.
Yeah.
Laura Nolter's family are here. There they are watching Laura back with Deborah Levy. So Beijing 2022, just over 2 years ago, was the last time this pair raced together officially. And they are back in harness.
That's really awesome to see them back together. Interesting to see what they push.
Oh, 500s off the track record. I was thinking a mild day like today where the start's not frosty, but there's a bit of sun on it. Francesco Frisch, you can hear his boys again. Here we go, start record day.
That's really awesome to see. Obviously, all of her rehab and everything from surgery has gone well for Deborah. So, yeah, I guess World Champs is going to be very exciting.
I think so. Nice exit out of 9. She's nearly a second up on Kelly van Petegem.
Yeah, she's having a really nice run. Not too many skids, not too many taps. That's what you want, really.
Textbook stuff, nice and straight, down into 13 and 14. Beautiful exit, brings it over to 15. Absolutely top class. How close, I was going to say, how close to the track record? 56.08.
Flying, absolutely flying. That was a really good run. I hope she's happy with that. I imagine she would be.
I think she can't not be. That must have felt so good after a slow, damp week of training for the sled to finally start to come alive. You're regretting not taking the start now? You are. I know you are. I can feel it.
Yeah, when we raced here in Europa Cup, it was -10, and it was very, very fast ice, and it was actually quite a lot of fun.
Yeah. This place is better when it is faster. There's no question about it. Had a little bit of a drama getting in, but they ran it fast and long. They very nearly got the start record. Lisa Bukvitz, Lauren Siebert we're going to look at, I think, for that. And a great exit off 9.
No taps, that's what you want.
And just
very nice.
Leans it across into the entrance for Kreisel. First trip back down in a sled, track record for Deborah Levy.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Loving life. Yinqing of China is our 3rd starter in the field. Wang Yu behind her. Wang has raced 3 times so far this season, in the season opener in La Plagne, in Innsbruck and Sigulda. They've been rotating the brake women, keeping them fit, keeping them healthy, but keeping them race fresh as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's important to switch the brakeman around while you can. Otherwise, you can get very tired doing every race every week.
Well, the other thing is the spare gets very tired and demotivated, never racing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you just do the hard yakka a day or 2 in training and never get to race. That's very demoralising. And when you need to pull somebody in off the bench, you want them to have done some races. You don't just want them going, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly, and the best practice for racing is racing. The more racing you get, the better you get at it.
Nice exit out of 9. Nice looking Kreisel as well. Not too much of a wave, not trying to hold it too flat. Second best speed, so she's ahead of Kelly van Petegem. Not a long way ahead.
But it is looking very nice down the bottom here, very nice and neat.
And again, we talked about it yesterday in the women's mono. We talked about it in the 2-man. The 800-pound gorilla in the room for all of these teams, all of these athletes, is next week is the start of World Championships. You do not risk everything here for a World Cup race when the world champs are coming over the horizon at you. So there will be a degree of using a sensible and conservative runner setting on this sled. Yannis Minin said there will be no fat runners this week. He wants the teams to go to Winterberg happy, comfortable, uninjured, and confident.
Yeah, nice between Nine and Kreisel there. She did drift over towards the wall, but she got pretty lucky with that. It came over and she had a nice middle entrance into Kreisel.
So 9-10's back. Inching had a good time in the leader's box in the Monobob race yesterday. Next up, Andrea Grecu. She finished 4th in the Monobobs. Teodora Vlad behind her. Teodora celebrating her 21st World Cup race, but only her 20th in a women's bobsleigh. Yes. Because her debut was in a four-man driven, an all-female four-man race in Königssee in Bavaria. Or an all-female four-man sled. 581 getaway.
It'll be interesting to see how Andrea goes today. She's definitely coming into form at the later part of this season. It's really nice to see, and she knows this track as well. So far it's looking like a pretty clean run. I'm trying to remember what she started in the mono. Can't quite remember, but she had a very good song. It was fast, yeah. She was fastest 2 starts in mono, yeah. Only a 10th quicker in the 2-seat sled. Yeah, all the brakemen always wanting to make sure that they beat what their pilot's doing in monobob for sure.
Nice looking run, but only 3rd best speed. She's not ahead of Ying Qing of China at this stage. She knows this track inside out, and this is definitely more the kind of conditions she was hoping for. But a 57.12. I was talking to her in training, and she was just saying, I can't drive this track when it's this slow. Now it's faster. So she's got to go and find that extra little bit of speed in herself as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot faster yesterday, so it'd be a bit of an adjustment coming from the Monobob race where the sleds are a bit slower anyway, and it was a bit frosty, and the sleds react when you drive, to coming today. It's a bit faster, a bit more speed, but a bit more pressure as well from the 2 men. It can be a big adjustment.
Nice entrance onto Kreisel. Allows the first wave. It's a balance here between allowing the sled to have its head and just go up and down and cover more ice, but the more you control it, the more the runners dig into the ice, and that reduces the speed a little as well.
Yeah, exactly. That last pressure in that Kreisel was a little bit too wavy. I think she was having a bit of a sigh of relief there. It was a little bit high, a little bit too early.
And the problem then is cutting the ice as you bring the sled down hard. That's what robs you of speed. Next up, Victoria Chenanska from Slovakia with Lucia Makrosova behind her. Victoria still just 21 years old, her 9th World Cup race, 9th for the duo. They've been racing together in Europe Cup, and since they started in the Worlds. 9th place here last year, and 9th place in Sigulda last year, the last race of the season. Her 2 best World Cup results, 5.97. And I would be surprised if she doesn't at least match her World Cup best in this race today.
Yeah, we only have 11 sleds in the field, so it is a bit of a smaller field, but again, there would be people saving themselves for world champs.
Definitely.
Not taking the risk.
Right, having just built her up, she's knocking everything in sight in the first few corners. That was an ugly top of the track, I'm afraid, for Victoria Chenanska.
Another tap out the exit of Kreisel. 11-12 looks okay. A little bit of a skid.
Again, I think she could have possibly done with slightly thinner runners just to get that little bit more control. Back of the sled.
Very high there.
Yeah, back of the sled's all over the place. The front of the sled doesn't really look under control either. 3rd best speed at the bottom, 57.38, ahead of Kelly van Petegem. And 2400s, 2600s behind Andrea Grecu, but that would have felt pretty horrible, I think, won't it?
Oh, yeah, a rough run in the back is not fun. Yeah, it's not fun in the front either. But, yeah. No, the hits you get here can be quite hard, especially on your hips in the back.
Well, they all get the same reception down the bottom. But again, big heavy steer off 9, drives it hard into the wall.
She got pretty lucky there. The tap put her parallel. Looks like it's a nice middle, slightly early entrance into Kreisel. Kreisel actually looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Controlled, like a little bit high, but controlled waves. She drove it out hard and hit the wall there, though. That does rob you of some speed as well.
Yeah, the top part of the track, you heard all the hits. Lauren Alter is the leader from Yingqing and Andrea Grecu after the first 5 sleds. So Kim Kilicki with Annabelle Gallander. Kim Kilicki, 26 World Cup medals in her 30 starts so far. And Annabelle has 6 out of 10 World Cup, out of 9 previous World Cup starts, 572. And these two have combined very successfully over the last couple of years. Kim Kilicki won here in 2021 with Lisa Buchwitz pushing her. Whoa!
A little bit sideways going through there. Wasn't the best first half. That wasn't great either. But it had a nice entry into Kreisel. You can have the taps and sometimes get away with it a little bit.
Our floor manager, Mark, said he had his money on an all-German podium. Kim Kilicki doing her best to rob him of that 10 cents that he was willing to bet. 2,800s back, still second place. Yingqing is 9 tenths back, but 4,300s back. 56.51, and that was a pretty unattractive looking run from Kim Kilicki. Now, she didn't race in the Monobob yesterday, so she will have had fewer training runs. You only get 4 runs if you're doing one discipline, and all of those were in the damp, in the moist, on a cold track. But she knows the track.
She does know the track, and more days off in between as well. We've had Tuesday, Thursday sliding, and then race on Sunday.
But that's a rookie drive. I mean, that's every mistake you can make. She pretty much made them. Sideways into 13.
Bit airborne there on the back runners.
Ugly into 14. Poor Annabelle Gallander must have wondered what on earth she'd done, got in the wrong sled. There's Kim. Kim is still struggling for fitness.
Yeah, and a run like that can take the breath out of you as well with all the hits.
Yep.
But yeah, if she can clean it up a bit in the second run, she'll definitely be able to gain some spots.
And there's the responsibility that the brake woman feels for the driver, and as much as the driver feels for the brake woman.
Exactly. It goes both ways.
Former winner Alana Myers-Taylor, her last win, her only win on this track back in 2014-15.
It's really nice. You can see all the other athletes, the pilots and brakemen who aren't racing on the side cheering along. Jasmine
Jones, bronze medalist here in the first race last year with Kaylee Humphreys.
5:65, that's the second fastest we've had so far.
Yep. I think the second heat, as the day warms up, I think that start record is going to be in danger if it doesn't go in this first one. Bit of a loop in corner 4, little tap into 5. Working with this new sled. I was talking to Alana a little bit about it. I said, how does it feel? She said it actually feels quite like the old BMWs, but the BTC that she's been racing for the last couple of years feels nothing like that in a way. Late out of Kreisel, a big hit.
Yeah, it looked really controlled in the start, but then the second wave just went really high, and it was a little bit too hard to get it back under control.
Cannot tell you the last time I saw Alana crash. It's been a long while in a race.
Had one in the Monobob World Champs here when they had it.
Okay.
That was a while ago, but it's never fun crashing there. It didn't quite make it up. She's out.
Well, that's Jasmine Jones is out of the sled. She'll have wriggled out to try and stop the sled rolling back.
Yeah, it goes back quite a long way, and honestly, going back is just as bad as going forward sometimes.
Well, here we are, exit the corner 9. Watch the... Okay, I thought that didn't quite hit the ice on the exit, but then...
She didn't panic, it was nice. She went back to neutral, you could see.
Comes into the middle of the Kreisel. Big first pressure.
and then it just dipped really low, which means it then dipped
so
really
high in the second pressure.
and it's really hard to get it under control.
And then the third pressure, she brings it down, but there is a fourth wave, and that's what gets her, pushes her back up.
Yeah,
And there you see the bodies falling down against the sled. I mean, gravity just takes the humans as much as the sled.
And the sled's rolled over, and it's going to go back over
12,
again.
yeah.
Yep.
11 and 12 is a common place to crash. The 13-14 transition, you end up rolling off 14. But yeah, exit of 9, exit of Kreisel. And you can see Alana's quite a long way out of the sled there.
Yeah, it's really hard to stay tucked in when you crash here. Like the 11, 12, 13, 14 corners can really throw you around a lot too. She's
out of the sled down the bottom, I think, with the medical crew. So hopefully she is okay. There she is. I think she will not. I would be very surprised if she goes in the second heat.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out, I guess, when it gets to the second heat.
Again, World Championships next week will be the focus of the season. And Alana has just other fish to fry as well. She's a mother of 2 preschool kids, both of whom are here on tour with her. So there is that in the back of your mind as well. Sled of Lisa Buchwitz waiting to go. Alana's dad here bumped into him yesterday at the finish area, so I know that there will be a lot of concern. Waiting to see that she is okay. She was out of the sled, medical crew's with her, and she seemed to be moving okay.
There are a lot of spectators here for it's, what is it, 10:20 in the morning, and the sun's out. That definitely helps. It's not raining.
Absolutely, you know, they'll have done what we did this morning, got up, opened the drapes and gone, oh, okay, wow, what a lovely day.
Yeah, I definitely
There's Kim, look, she's got a calf injury. You just saw her, like, massaging her hamstring as well.
Yeah, sometimes you find if you've hurt a calf, like hurt one muscle, another muscle then kind of counteracts it on the other leg.
Well, because you try and compensate, and then you're putting unusual strain on other bits of your body. You're exactly right.
And I imagine she'll just be trying to keep fit and healthy for the 2-man at World Champs.
Yeah. Yeah, she won't be racing mono there either, I would have thought. I think that's likely to be Maureen Zimmer.
Yeah, I imagine. So it means that she'll have a week off before she gets into it.
Which is, a week of intense pummeling.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be a bit of a look after your body and
near permanent physio thumb marks in the backs of those muscles. I know, but the relief.
Yeah,
there's a great view of the runner shoes, which are the frame that the runners are bolted into. It's all very high-tech, look, big chunky bolts to hold it all together, the axle articulation. So the runner shoe moves just that little black section you can see there. The axle is a solid axle, so there's no suspension in there. And the front of the sled will be the same, although it also has the steering mechanism as well, obviously.
Hopefully, hopefully the girls are all good with the pause beforehand. It can be a bit off-putting sometimes when you've got to wait another 5 minutes for a crash, and everyone copes with it differently. But I'm sure who's up next? We've got Lisa.
Lisa Buchwitz.
She'll be fine. She's had enough runs down the track. She'll be fine.
Well, Lisa was a winner here last year as a driver and a winner the season before as a brakewoman. So she won 2 consecutive races, one where she couldn't see where she was going and one where she could.
So the runs down in the back can definitely help, I guess. You kind of understand how the track works before you get in it.
Well, I don't know if that gives you any driving ability.
Oh, driving ability.
I mean, I've been hugely impressed with the way that coming in off a very short run-up, both Lisa Buchwitz, especially this year, and Keisha Love. I mean, Keisha, before she started her World Cup career in La Plan, had done 6 races.
Yeah, I think we've all started around a similar time, straight after the Olympics. A lot of brakemen jumping in the front seat. I know she's had a lot of runs over in Placid, which definitely helps. It teaches you to drive. It teaches you to drive there. I also went to the development camp in Placid, so that was quite a lot of fun. But a lot of girls have jumped in the front seat after the games, and it's really good to see.
Just saw Graham Richardson and in the cap Sean Olsen, British coaches, and Yanis Minins, who's coaching the Chinese. Lyle Alter's mum and dad, and a few family and friends here.
Spot them with the pink beanie.
Be a few in Winterberg, won't there? The whole Jacqueline Lurling fan club will be there, all the friends and family. Yeah.
There will be a lot of spectators in Winterberg. It's going to be really exciting. Even for the training week the other week on the Saturday, everyone was coming out and there was already quite a lot. So it's going to be a pretty big World Champs, I can imagine.
Tell you what, if we get a bit of weather like this, that'll really help as well.
Yeah.
It's half-term holidays in the Netherlands, so lots of Dutch fans, or lots of Dutch holiday makers will be in town as well. So you probably see quite a few of them at the track as well. And very close to the Netherlands, very close to Belgium. So Winterberg is sort of northwest, just north of the Ruhr Valley. And yeah, very, very easily accessible from the Low Countries, even from the UK. From where I come, near Coventry, it's a 9-hour door-to-door, including getting across the channel, so very easy. Ready to get back underway here, race 7 of the BMW IBSF Women's Bobsleigh World Cup. Final race of the season will be in about a month from now in Lake Placid. I imagine there might not be much snow on the ground there either as we get into the middle of March and beginning of spring. So this will be the final World Cup race in Europe and the warm-up for the World Championships in Winterberg that start next week. Women's Bob will race in 2 weeks. Monobob will be next week, along with Skeleton and the Skeleton Team competition and two-man. Boy, it's going to be busy next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy week. It'll be a very busy week for you.
I'm going to be bored of my own voice, never mind everybody else. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of track action. We start on Thursday next week. So those of you who are watching in unhelpful time zones in the Americas or Asia Pacific, get ready. Okay, next up then, Lisa Buchwitz and Lauren Siebert. Lauren, Junior World Championship silver medalist, and only her second World Cup race. They took silver together in St. Moritz. Track records, not quite, 5:62, 5:54, so it's not actually the fastest start either. Well, Lisa Buchwitz, the winner here in the first race last year, so she definitely knows how to get down this track quickly. Was on the podium yesterday in the Monobob.
So far, the top's looking really good. Minimal hits, no skids really.
She's going to need a track record to take the lead. Little late off 9. Square tap, third best speed, but the gap is still absolutely tiny. Whoa!
Oh, that's not going to help with the speed either.
Out to 1100s. Could be 2 tenths behind at the line. Nice out of 14. Wow, 3 tenths back. That's a huge robber of speed. Across the line in second, in third, behind Kim Kilicki.
The run in general didn't look too bad. I guess it was just like that hit out of Preisel was a major one, which obviously can rub you up with negative speed.
And again, the tap out of 9 takes a bit of speed out of the sled. Was that a yes or a something less polite? I'm not quite sure. Okay, she was happy with that, yeah.
Or just relieved. But no, they look pretty happy with that.
Well, yeah, they're Germans, they shouldn't be that relieved, but a lot of crews are very relieved to get out of Altenberg without any dramas. That was the first hit. That takes a little bit of speed out of the sled.
She managed to avoid a hit, like just avoid it. She got very lucky with that one, the second hit.
Had to drive hard to stop the big first wave in Kreisel. And then allows the third wave to kind of carry her out without it becoming a fourth like it did for Alana Myers-Taylor. But again, takes that hard hit on the wall, big skid. Big skid into 13, so... All right, that's your top 3. Nolte, Kilicki, Buchwitz. What's Cynthia Appiah got to show us?
So it's her Brakeman Morgan. It's her first World Cup race. It's actually her first race in Europe and her second race ever.
Second race ever, yeah. 1 race in North America's Cup in Lake Placid. Joined the team at the beginning of the season. A former hockey player, by which I'm assuming we mean ice hockey in Canada,
ice hockey,
rather than field hockey. Canadians now will be going, what, you can play hockey without ice? Kind of madness is that?
That's the only way we do it.
5.92, and very well. 5.92 for Sin, 7th best start. Let's see if she can match yesterday's top 5 finish. The best result on this track in women's bob has been a 7th place. She's really starting to find her form again this year. A little late out of corner 9. And very sideways onto Kreisel. Saw the way the sled pitched in there. She was really hauling it on.
Yeah, when you go in with the nose in first, it can make that pressure really hard going in. So she actually controlled that. Ooh, little bit of airborne runners at the back there. She's
13-14 has not been kind there.
I'm sure we'll see it again on the slow motion.
Yeah, I think everybody has adapted their lines to a slow track.
Yay! Yeah, her brakemen were all talking up Morgan before, making sure we gave her a shout out. So they're very excited for her, which is really good to see. Cynthia does not look happy with that run.
No. Well, again, you know, she knows this track well, and she knows every one of the mistakes we saw in a bunch more. There's Graham Richardson actually moving sleds. I'm just making a note in my diary of that. He'll work me over that later.
Oh, that wasn't nice either.
Wasn't, was it?
So she's gone late in there, and you can see her get whipped onto the corner, which then had, she got lucky. She nearly rolled in.
I mean, 11-12 was close. 13-14 was very close.
And then, yeah, lots of skids between the corners and the bottom half of the track there, which definitely doesn't help with speed.
Yeah. Next up, Katy Bile for Austria. 8th in the monobob yesterday, with Isabella Injakova behind her. Now, Isabella, 22 years of age, only her second World Cup start. Her debut was in Innsbruck, and she did one Europe Cup race before that. That was in Lillehammer. They took the gold medal. So her first ever bobsleigh race, she was a winner. That's not a bad one.
That's a pretty good start, yeah.
Can't argue with that, really, can you? Do you want to do another one? Oh, yes, I think so. All right, 7th best.
Start, yep.
Yeah.
7th best.
Drove nicely. I thought the lines were really smooth yesterday in the monobob race. I mean, that's one of the great things about Katy Bile. She's got very soft hands. She really knows how to guide a sled.
Definitely, and she avoided the hits from 3 to 4 and 4 to 5, which I think is definitely helping with speed in this track.
Yeah, you can be last by 4.
Managed to avoid the hit out of 9, which is awesome. That's definitely going to help a lot as well.
5th best speed. Little flop on the exit to Kreisel. 4th best speed. It's going to be a top 6 run. Challenging Andrea Grecu in 5th. Maybe even Ying Qing in 4th.
This is a really nice looking run.
Nice, smooth, controlled. Tucks ahead. 5th at the line. 57.11. And again, World Championships next week. Taking no risks. I wouldn't mind betting that she's got a slightly narrower runner on. Maybe nothing more than a 6.5. The harder the track, in theory, the narrower runner you can run, and that reduces friction. But
gives you a bit more control.
But the trend now is, the trend now is for fatter runners, no matter what the temperature is.
Just to go faster. Everyone wants to go fast.
Yeah. And it's always that balance between speed and control. And the fatter the runner, the better the driver you have to be. You've got to know where it's going to go.
That was a really nice exit of 9. You can see that she just trusted the sled was going to do what it did. She went back to neutral and, came off really nicely.
Yep.
Nice middle early entrance into Kreisel.
Yeah, slow start, but we made it.
There you go. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Do you know what? I'm going to get her in the booth in Worlds, definitely. Saying it now. I don't know how, but we'll do it. Next up then, our final sled of the first heat, Melanie Hassler, Mara Morel. I think yesterday in the monobob, 13th place finish was just a day to survive. Let's see what she's got today in the 2-man, 5:73.
So 5th fastest start, so right in the middle of the pack there.
But she's nice and smooth in these slow early corners. There you go. Having said that, rattles the wall from 3 to 4, and a big hit to 5, sent her sideways into corner 5, and sideways down into 7 and 8.
Yeah, sometimes when you take that hit into 5, it puts you in late, and it kind of has a flow-on effect until you get out of 9.
Yeah, there's no pressure in the corners after it, so you can't really gather the sled up. Exeter Kreisel looks tidier though, but only the 9th best speed. You can give away so much up top and you just can't make a difference, enough of a difference at the bottom.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't matter how much or how well you drive the bottom half. If it's skiddy and tappy up the top, it can really rob you of a lot of that.
57.63, 9th at the line. So she's ahead of Cynthia Appiah by half a second. And the 11th sled was Alana Myers-Taylor and Jasmine Jones. I sense we are unlikely to see them in the second heat. I wouldn't say no, but I think unlikely. Mel struggling with a lower back injury and actually getting out the sled quite gingerly. And
that
moments like that, no, exactly.
Wouldn't have helped.
Absolutely. Oh, and look at Mara Morell in the back seat.
Yeah, and a very late entrance onto 5. Like I said, that just has a flow-on effect, and it's really hard to get it under control.
And then look at this, skidding all the way down. And these are long, gradual corners, no big G-forces. Once it starts to slide, it's going to slide. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for the second heat. We might see some people move around with some better runs.
Well, now then, Lauren Alter and Deborah Levy. The last time they stepped out of a sled, they hung around for half an hour and somebody held Olympic gold medals around their neck. This time it won't be the Olympics, but their first race back together, they are leading. They are leading quite handsomely, nearly half a second ahead of anybody.
It's a big gap.
It is a big gap. And you know, as a brake woman, you know now as a driver, that sometimes there is something just a little bit extra effervescent of a relationship between one particular duo in a sled. And Deborah was always the go-to happy place for Lauren Alter. She's had great results with lots of other brake women, but there's some special bond going on there, and I wonder whether it was just happy coincidence or whether that's just given her a little bit more vavoom in the sled.
It can make a big difference, whoever you have behind you or whoever you're driving with, for sure.
Absolutely right. So Lana Myers-Taylor and Jasmine Jones after that crash. Let's see if they do come out for the second run. I'd be surprised if they do. I think it's also possible we may not see Melanie Hassler, judging by the way she was moving in the sled. But let's not count too much. We'll be back at 11:30 to find out. 10:30 GMT, 05:30 Eastern. And that will be in 52 minutes from now. We'll see you then.